should have done is taken the soul out of Edo Madara and transferred it to the old Madara body.
You know,
That's
speaking
how
of
the jutsu
souls,
works.
Kamui, are souls immune to omnipotence? That's another one of the podcast topics I have. I was thinking about that. There's multiple ways this goes. So, someone who was already dead, such as if Minato was Edo Tensei back to life right now, would he have already been under omnipotence? Would he become under omnipotence the moment he's summoned down? Would he be immune because he's Edo Tensei and we see that Edo Tensei are immune to, like, infinite Tsukiyomi? Or was he just never immune in the first place? Like, are souls immune, or can omnipotence reach to the afterlife? And then what about someone who dies? Such as if Konohamaru dies this arc and is brought back to life in the next arc, Konohamaru, as we know, is under omnipotence. Would he still be under omnipotence? Or would he become back under omnipotence once he's brought back to life, but he wasn't under omnipotence when he was dead? AKA, he realized his mistake when he was in heaven or whatever? Like, how does this all work?
Starting with that last one, I think Konohamaru would just stay under the effects. Like, his chakra was just affected. It was like rewritten through chakra, and I think that would just stay.
So in the afterlife, you would still think Boruto's Kwaki.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Unless like Ada undid it, and then it may or may not.
That's another one. Yeah. What would it do in that case for the dead people?
So
that's interesting.
Getting the elephant out of the room first, just out of the way. Ada's desire, if Ada just wasn't thinking about it or desiring the dead people to be affected, it might have just not affected them because it just wasn't even in her mind. But of course, if she was just thinking affect everyone, period, it might have affected them. That's where it's tricky. I don't know, because it's able to do interdimensional stuff.
Yeah.
And if like Rene Rebirth can summon souls and Edo Tensei can summon souls from the dead, I feel like Omnipotence could reach this.
Is the plane of death even a different dimension, or is it just like a higher dimension, or not even a dimension at all? It's like a realm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I feel like she should be able to reach it.
Yeah.
I feel like she should be able to.
I don't know. It's weird.
If she can reach like code and shit.
Like hypothetically, could she reach a normal person in Shibai's dimension? His higher plane of existence, wherever that is.
Would a normal person be there in the first place?
If Shibai brought him along.
Yeah. I know, but like Amato's saying that like a body's not required there, or at least theorizing. So like, would you be a normal person?
Okay, let's just say Kaguya banged Tenji and then ate the chakra fruit, and that chakra fruit was like Shibai's final chakra fruit. That's the most godly chakra fruit of all time that allowed him to transcend. So then Kaguya transcended, gave birth to Hagoromo, who is half human in the higher dimension. What is he?
I don't know.
Is that where Ten Tails comes from?
Yeah. I mean, I still want to know more about the Shibai dimension thing anyway, because some people think it's actually just the Pure Lands is like where he is. But then it's like, okay, did he actually just die?
Like some people think it isn't real at all. Like we just don't know.
I know. Well, I mean, Momoshiki confirmed he's not in this dimension. He didn't really clarify what dimension he's in.
There's something off there. It's so clear as day, and Momoshiki knows it. So does Ada.
Yeah, I agree. But
not saying, which is weird that Kashi and Koji seemingly should know it.
Yeah, you should see it.
I don't know. Singularity of fate nonsense, I guess.
Yeah, I want to know more about Amato's lies.
Yeah. Okay, what about the other omnipotence idea, though? What do you think?
Which one?
Any of them that you haven't addressed yet? I said multiple.
Like the ones in podcast topics, or just like these more Ada
the ones that we were just
saying people?
About the dead people.
I feel like she could just affect them all. Like there's still confirmation, but I feel like she could.
Okay, assuming she didn't, so she affected only everyone who's alive, and then a dead person came back to life, let's just say through Rene Tensei, would they be affected? If they weren't previously.
I don't think so, unless she like recast it again.
Okay. Well, it is like
I think
constantly
I think
going,
like
but
she
I don't know.
I think she connected to everyone's chakra when the light flashed, and then from there it can be like adjusted on the fly. She's already made the connection in terms of the memory swap at that moment to everyone.
See,
So the love charm.
I get that
But if
that
the
it might.
connection was never made to them, I think she
Yeah.
would have to make the connection.
I get why you're saying that because it could just apply continually updating to everyone who was originally affected in the first place, which if you weren't originally affected, it wouldn't matter, in which case Naruto could come back and not be affected. The reason I don't think that's the case,
Well, Naruto might be affected anyway, just because interdimensional affection.
that's
But
fine, that's fine. The reason I don't think that's the case is because it seems as if Ada casted her omnipotence a long time ago, such as before she was put on ice, and the new people like Shikadai are still being affected. I don't think he would have been born when she was put on ice.
well,
It's
see,
possible,
that just
but
depends. That depends on when. It depends on, first of all, has Ada been aging like at all since Kara?
I don't think so.
That's one question. Second, like, when did this happen in Kara? Because Shikadai, so Ada was 16 in part one. Shikadai was like 12. So as long as Ada was at least 4 years old when she did it, Shikadai would be alive, as well as everyone else we've seen.
Yeah.
So what you would need to see is like, like a 2-year-old now
Yeah.
be affected or not affected to convert that. But they're not going to do that.
Well, yeah, exactly. And if they did do that, then that 2-year-old just would be affected. Let's be honest. Like, even like regardless of the theory, Ikimoto wouldn't think about it. Everyone on
Yeah,
Earth just would
Ikimoto
be
would
affected.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But like that's what you would need. So that's where it's kind of tricky.
Okay. Okay. That
But I
probably
like
covers all that.
I don't see the point in doing other than like visuals. Just fundamentally, it makes no sense to have the flash in the sky if that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't know why the Edo Tensei weren't affected by Infinite Tsukiyomi, but for whatever reason you think they weren't, do you think that would apply to Omnipotence? I would still say probably no for whatever the reason is. That they would be affected. I assume.
See, the problem is,
I don't know.
it seems like they should have been affected by both, but because they're not affected by
Yeah.
Infinite Tsukiyomi, it's like, okay, so if they wouldn't be affected by
But Edo Tensei can be affected by normal genjutsu. It doesn't make sense.
I know. Like in the Divine Trees, like looking for chakra, the Edo Tensei have unlimited of it.
What's up with that? Itachi was under genjutsu, and then Sasuke put him under another genjutsu in the middle of the Koto genjutsu. In the middle of Kabuto's
He was
genjutsu.
under a genjutsu. Kabuto put him in a second genjutsu, and Sasuke put him in a third genjutsu.
Oh my god.
3 layers of genjutsu.
And even in that third layer, he was still able to put Sasuke under genjutsu.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense, bro. Like, I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. Like the only explanation would be that it's a dead body, and for some reason the Infinite Tsukiyomi doesn't. But I feel like even if the tree doesn't want to wrap him up, they should still have the Rinnegan eyes to be paralyzed.
Yeah, it's not about the tree at that point. Like you could say the tree is a part of the jutsu. It's not a part of the jutsu.
Well, like they don't need to become Zetsu or whatever, but like they should have the Rinnegan eyes to be paralyzed. Like realistically,
like
it's not like they did much. Like honestly speaking, there wasn't really much point in having him be immune, other than the following 2 things. One, they can quote unquote help summon Naruto and Sasuke and everyone else back. Don't really need it for that. The real reason, this is probably the reason they did it, is so Minato and Naruto could have that emotional goodbye scene before the Infinite Tsukiyomi is released.
Yeah. I agree.
Probably why Kishimoto did it. Because I wouldn't want to lose that either.
And also, realistically, just because he wanted Hagoromo to talk to the Tokage, which also didn't feel necessary. He also wanted all Kage from ever to summon the Team
Yeah,
7
I
down.
know. Just because
Yeah.
it's cool. But
Yeah.
like, Hagoromo talking to the Kage is hilarious though, because in the manga, bro, it's all off screen. He just says, "I need to talk to you," and then
I
like, yeah.
know, it's such nonsense, bro. Thank God the anime did something there. Freaking coolest thing they could have done, too. I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, I
I
just
don't
have
care.
Hagoromo go on a speech about his past.
Doesn't matter if it makes no sense. I wanted it, so. It's like, oh, why did he do that?
Such a waste of time. He's like, "We don't have much time. Please, let me tell you this 3-episode story first, because we're so pressed for time."
Oh my god. Okay.